Alright, so right where we left off, we're wanting to force away from here, although it doesn't really matter now that this is forced away. We don't want to connect to here though, so we're going to go like that here. Okay, and then we don't want to attach. Now, you can get a little asymmetrical, it's fine. So this right here, we don't want to attach here, and then we also don't want to attach here. And then what else? Let's see here. Not there. Maybe we wanna. It doesn't really matter. This is, once again, you can't attach on the hover side here. Oops. Can't attach on the hover side here, so it doesn't matter. And then you don't want to attach there. Okie dokie. And what else? That's good. Nothing else to attach there. Now this one we'd have to turn in, and then this can be going up. There we go. So that it doesn't connect. And that goes down here. And then, because we're gonna, the reason why I turned that around is because we want a block here to wrap our hover. Alright, so that's taken care of. And, well, we can turn these in, since this is already here. And then just here we would want to slope away from our pieces here. I'm going to do it like this, so that it attaches down. Just a personal preference. I think that's nearly all of them. This one, we're going to want to get this here. It doesn't attach up, so we can go down, and then this one will alternate attaching up, like that. Okay, I think that's just about everything. If we've missed anything, it will turn up bright yellow so that we know not to attach to it. So now we can fill in the rest of the bot with block spam. So let's do that. Alrighty, and we're just going to go around our hovers, like so. And we're going to grab these, and we're going to cover up the front. And I suppose this can be, we can get a little artistic as we go. That would attach there, and we would attach here, and oh, we missed a spot. So we don't want to attach here, so we would just have something like this. And then I think we're all good here. Yeah, so we'll go more of these. And then the other one on the other side's not going to want to go on the right way because it's stubborn like that. But we can force it. Okay, and then here's fine. Here, and here, and here, and here. If I was any good at editing, I would make a time-lapse. If you want, you can skip all the rest of this. We're just basically filling in all the rest of this around these hovers. Let's see. Well, we still want those to attach. Uh-oh, we've forgotten more. Here, and then on the other side, we don't want to attach here. Although I tend, so this one's going up. Let's have the other one alternate and go down. Like so. Okie dokie. And then turn mirror mode back on. Solid block here. And then solid blocks up top. There, and there. Okay, I think that's just about everything. So we can get a little bit more rambunctious with our placements. there. Oh, that's another one we have to slope away from. So let's do that. And of course we'd have our top layer covering everything up. And at minimum we would want these covered like so. Alright, so that would be a pretty rough shape. It's a fairly wide hover. I did set those hovers one extra block apart, so it's fairly wide side to side, but this should create a stable hover base for you. There's other things you can do to have a stable hover. In fact, I'll demonstrate some of that right now. This would usually have extra meat on it because it's the front of your bot. So you'd have something like this, and this is cubes, right? So you want to try to apply as many electroplates and other things as possible. Ideally, you want to have them. The multi attachment point plates are pretty good, just because they're less likely to come off early. So you might want to have some of those in there. Hang on, I could probably squeeze these in. What are we missing? It's just the top here and the front. So here, and I can't remember where else. Oh yeah, just these two. Right, so you'd have some sort of shields here, or something. Now for stability, what we can do is we can have vertical rudders, and that just means that there's rudders attached anywhere on the bot, vertically, kind of out of the way. You want to kind of like tuck them in as much as you possibly can. Here's a good spot, if I can get it to... There we go. And now I think I can squeeze in... Oh, no, not quite. And so once again, these are actually also things that you'd want to consider dual mounting. So we're going to do a little sneaky here. So if you didn't know, you can clip... Okay, we wouldn't want that to be that way either. We can go down and around, because you can place blocks here along the length of it. So that would be 1, 2, and then 3, connecting to our body. Here. So that would be one line. Well, actually, is that long enough? Yep. Well, 1, 2... what the heck, let's have it be like this. Yeah. And then the other side would come out here. Right, so you go here, and then here, and here. Why not? So now those are well attached, and of course we need a weapon or something. Weapons you can route much the same as your hovers. So maybe I'll do a pretty modern technique for this one. Let's do the same thing that we did for the rod mounts for the hovers, like we talked about in the previous video. So something like maybe we can use. Does this have a connecting block here? Ooh, no, it doesn't. So we can do. That would technically be limiting the. So like that, and let's paint this yellow since this is technically one of our dual mounts. We're still using a line length of 2. We could do 3, but this is fine. And also I think you can cover this up a little bit. like so, right? You can have blocks here. And then one here as well if I just... There we go. Just pop these off, put them right back on. And then make sure to replace that block here with one of the ones that's yellow. And then we would also want to force away on this side, like so. So there was 1, 2, and then let's have it go to the back. So also this needs to only connect on the foot of the weapon. So just force away here. And then we would want our rod mount, which we don't have room for, so I'm going to punch a hole there. And we don't want to attach, so I think that's all good. This can be solid. And then wrap whichever way has more connections. So it looks like down here, and I guess, hang on, up here, and then, right there is fine, because we can just attach like that. Alright, so there's our wrapped rod. And so what that means is now you have a connection coming in the front foot, and then also the front foot, if that connection is broken off, the front foot's still held up by the rod going to the back. And then for your back feet, you don't have to do it too fancy. You can split them up into some kind of dual mount if you want to be really fancy. So we're using a rod here just to get them as far apart as possible, but usually you can just use blocks, maybe to there. Oops. So here and here, and then we would have a bent rod going here. So like I said, you don't want to use rods a whole lot because they tend to jump damage early. But in this case, we're trying to get it far away from the other mounts. So, and then here, and then maybe force these away. Oh, the other thing is, okay, yeah, the foot isn't connected. So these would have to be forced away, and then you could have, I don't know, maybe this forced away. Well, first we have to actually place it. So let's go yellow, and then let's have it connect here, just to the sides. So it dumps out on this block right here. Right, and then this would be forced away, like so. And then you would cover it all up. So maybe you would want this going down, because that way it's not attached to the top. So now each one of these feet is attached to a completely different point on the robot, and it's got maximum survivability for this gun here. And then we would want to cover up our top a little bit. So you can squeeze blocks in all around your Mega SMG just to get it as buried as possible so that it's not easy to see. I think you can you fit something in front of that? I don't know if you can. The more the merrier. Oh, wait. Yep, okay. So, and then we quickly get rid of the Mega SMG and do one of these. Like that. Alright, yeah. And then, there we go, we'd want to cover up here. Right? Oh, no, careful here, we don't want to attach there, so we want to force away from that point. And this would probably be the end of it here. Right? Ideally you want to have all of these covered. You don't have to. Maybe we want some movement speed. So I don't know, maybe do here and here to get it out of the way, and then have maybe let's do a few thrusters here, and maybe there's room here. It's messing up a little bit of our routing, but not too much. And thrusters would just be for movement speed. It's just a little bit of extra oomph. Now, center of thrust is something we need to talk about. You basically want the center of, if you were to basically draw a bunch of lines between all your thrusters, the point where they intersect, you kind of want that to roughly be where the center of mass is. And in fact, we're kind of missing, we're probably a little low on center of mass down here in the middle. So, I mean, old meta hovers would have an ion, but I don't know, let's do like a mega plasma. And you would route this much the same as you would route the top setup for the top gun, right? So let's just give this a whirl as is. You kind of, actually, let's take that off for now. I don't want to leave, I don't want to have a bad example. So, alright, now this is not, another thing is you really want to build the 2000 CPU, but for now I'm just going to bring this into test mode just so that we can see how it is right now. So now this, you most likely, if you're building a hover, you're not going to get it right on your first shot. You're going to have some sort of imbalance. It's either going to be too light in the front, too heavy in the front. So let's move around. Let's see, are we tipping forward or back? I can't quite tell. An easy way to tell is to go up and down. So far it looks okay, but if I drive off of a surface, then we'll see if there's stability issues. So it looks like it's a little front light, which is to be expected. We've got the electroplates in the front and a lot of weights in the back. So if we're, oh no, the nose is down properly.